Today, I want to talk about something we don't talk about enough: the mental health of young men, ages 20 to 30, the generation that's supposed to be in their prime and somehow isn't. Here's what nobody tells you: one in three young adults aged 18 to 25 experienced a mental health issue last year, up from one in five just 8 years ago, and men make up nearly 80% of suicides in this country. So, my research question is this: why are young men 20 to 30, the so called confident generation, struggling so deeply? And what role do family and societal expectations play? My thesis is that unrealistic expectations from family and society are pushing young men toward depression, fear of failure, and self harm. The pressure is real, the cost is real, and we need to name it. Picture a 25-year-old guy. His family expects him to land a good job, make money, support them, get married, succeed. Society tells him, be tough, don't cry, don't complain, figure it out alone. Research from Bangladesh shows that patriarchal social expectations place significant pressure on young men to secure well paying jobs and uphold family status. The same pattern shows up in China, in South Africa, and Asian American families. That's a direct quote from a recent study of young men. Rigid masculine norms associate mental health challenges with weakness, discourage emotional expression, and put early pressure on boys to succeed and fulfill the male provider role. The American Psychological Association studied over 20,000 college students and found that young people's perceptions of their parents' expectations and criticism have increased over the past 32 years and are linked to rising perfectionism. And what does perfectionism do? It contributes to depression, anxiety, self harm, and eating disorders. The need to be perfect for your family becomes the thing that destroys you. A 2025 study of 1,445 Chinese college students found that high parental expectations have a substantial effect on psychological distress, eroding young people's self worth and making them more vulnerable to anxiety and depression. When the pressure becomes too much, the first thing that breaks is often depression. Quiet, invisible, internal. Young men feel it constantly. They just don't tell anyone. That silence is part of the problem. When your worth depends on your achievement, every setback feels existential. Young men in research studies repeatedly say they feel they failed their family, not just themselves. That's a heavier kind of failure. Here's the most shocking part: the suicide risk for men is 4 times higher than for women. And since 2010, suicide rates have risen 30% for men ages 25 to 34, a whole generation in crisis, in silence. Research consistently shows that adherence to masculine ideals like self reliance and emotional stoicism creates self stigma. Young men perceive seeking help as weakness or a threat to their masculinity, so they don't reach out. And often, the very people sending those messages are family: the father who told them not to cry, the mother who praised achievement and never asked about feelings. Some research suggests families add to the pressure rather than providing support. This intensifies in collectivist cultures: Asian, Latino, African American, immigrant families, where family honor is shared. Your failure is the family's shame. Your success is the family's pride. The stakes feel enormous. Online groups now claim alpha men are physically and mentally fit, fearless, never weak. They despise vulnerability and view unassertive men as competitors. Young men scroll past this messaging hundreds of times a day. Here's the good news: the research is clear. When young men have informal support from family or friends, even one trusted person, their mental health outcomes improve. The fix isn't complicated, it's connection. We need to teach young men that asking for help isn't weakness, it's strength. We need parents to expect health from their sons, not just success. We need to redefine what being a man actually means. I chose this topic because I see this pressure in my own life. The expectations are real, but the silence doesn't have to be. If you're a young man feeling this weight, please talk to someone. And if you love one, please ask. That's how it changes.